Batgirl number 11, written by Gail Simone, art by Arjun CF. Last issue we left off with Batgirl being surrounded by a group of goons, with their leader being called Nightfall, and they kill criminals. This issue picks up with literally introductions, where Nightfall's like, "Hi, I'm Nightfall. This is Catharsis. She has wings and a metal bat. This is Bleak Michael. He secretes acid from his skin. And over there on the right is Bonebreaker. She's big and strong. Anyway, Batgirl, we don't want to hurt you. We want you to join us, because we kill criminals, and we're not about giving anybody any second chances and whatever. Would you like to join us?" And Batgirl says no. And so immediately Nightfall's like, "Fair enough. Beat her up." So they, actually, she says kill her directly. So regardless, the fight scene happens. It's your standard, typical, like, oh man, I gotta take out each one of them via their own special thing or whatever. And they keep on getting back up. They keep on going back and fighting some more until finally Bonebreaker gets back up, grabs Barbara by the throat, and she goes, uh-oh. Then we cut over to the B plot, which Alicia and James Gordon Jr. are, I guess, getting back from a date. They're at Alicia's apartment, and she's like, "So, do you want to maybe come in?" And he's like, "I don't know. Is your roommate home?" He's like, "Barbara? Nah, she's out at all hours of the night." And he's like, "Think I'll pass then. It was a great time, though, but I want our first night together to be something special, something you'll never forget. Anyway, I got you something. It's out in my car." And he goes out to the car. Alicia's drunk, by the way. I don't know if I said that. But when he comes back in, he has a cat, a long-hair Siamese cat. And she's like, "Oh, my God, thank you so much." And he's like, "It already has a name. The name is Alaska," which, if you remember, was the name of Barbara's childhood cat that James killed. Okay. Anyway, so Barbara's being choked out, and Nightfall steps up with a knife in hand, and it's just like, "Oh, well, you were always helpless in this situation. You could never win, Batgirl. This city has seen too much horror in its time. Goodbye." And is about to plunge the knife into Batgirl's chest. Detective McKenna shows up, gun drawn, and it's just like, "Nightfall, you need to step down." And then, as it turns out, McKenna is 2,000% sure that Nightfall is, what's her name? The rich one. I'll get to her name in a second. Charisse Carnes, there it is the rich one from last issue. Which, yeah, fair bet, but we haven't seen the face yet, so I'm still expecting a heel turn. Anyway, so she's like, "I will shoot you, McKenna." And she's like, "Just like you did before, or at least tried to." And she's like, "Oh, I'm better now. But anyway, let Batgirl go." And so they just do, and then say, "Don't follow us," to which Nightfall says, like, "Okay." And all the goons are like, "Seriously? They're not gonna, okay, sure, whatever." So they all go downstairs, hop in the car, and drive home. And basically we get the explanation on, like, what was Charisse Carnes' thing. And apparently her story was that her family bought some land that was like garbage, literal garbage, and they built it up to be some extra thing, made a huge amount of money off of it. And then her parents and her brother were all killed brutally by, as she says, someone who sat there, like, made her watch it happen for 3 straight hours. The prosecutors pointed out that's, like, stupid, and there's no trace of anyone else coming in, so it was definitely her. So she got put in Arkham. She was just 18 years old, and she was very, shy and scared, but, like, she followed the rules. She did everything fine. But then there was a breakout at Arkham, and at this point they've arrived back at McKenna's apartment, and Batgirl's getting first aid for an acid burn she got on her arm. But then it was a breakout at Arkham, and Charisse was forced to watch as the inmates in Arkham took a bunch of cops hostage, and they started torturing the cops right outside her cell for 2 straight hours. So whether or not it happened before, this one definitely happened. And Batgirl's making some deductions, looking around the apartment, being like, there's only 1 beer bottle here, but she has pictures of herself and a man, and there's a whole bunch of supercomputers here. And she starts prying into McKenna's personal life, to which McKenna then pulls the gun on Batgirl and says, like, "All right, who do you work for? Are you with DEO, Medusa? What's going on here?" Batgirl, like, takes the gun away and almost breaks her arm, and she's like, "All right, tell me what's going on, detective." And then the detective explains how back during that night at Arkham, she swapped places with a SWAT officer that was about to go in because one of the hostages in Arkham was her husband. And as she made her way in and finally got to the part where McKenna was, or Charisse was, she found her husband being with a gun to his head from an inmate. And the inmate's like, you take one step closer, I'm going to blow his brains out. And she froze up, much like she froze up before. And in freezing up, she got her own husband killed. And so, bit of pity there. But regardless, Charisse apparently approached her later on, talked about her plans of doing evil things and stuff like that. And someone, I'll just say here, when she was released on appeal under suspicion of jury tampering, she contacted me like she's done with dozens of cops and councilmen and judges, and there's something else, someone in your organization. So there's a Bat family member who is under suspicion of working with this person. And immediately we cut over to Batwoman, who is sitting outside of Melody's house saying, like, confirmed they're both inside, I'm going in, to someone on a phone. It's fine. It's good. It's well drawn. I think the introductions in the beginning, it felt earned enough. It was strange until you got to the point where it's like, oh, but we want to work with you, Batgirl. But then the fact that Nightfall took the immediate, like, no to fair enough, kill her. I don't know. It just seemed like the offer to have her work with him was never going to actually be a thing because they just needed some reason to get out the introductions. Anyway, minor nitpicks. I did like it overall. It's not the best issue. I do like McKenna getting a bit more characterization here. Not sure how I feel about the Bat family member thing. Because Batwoman in her own book has got her own, like, being forced to do things against her will. So maybe not. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to go ahead and give this one I'll give it a 7. It's okay. It's fine. It's nothing standout, but it's also nothing harmful either. It's just an okay book and an okay arc in general.